Oh my god! What the hell is going on here? We're being attacked! First time. Another loser white knight is here to get karma or whatever. What? What do you mean? That one in the red there. She's a white knight. She's trying to kill more of us so she can get a shield or something. Does this happen often? Often? Oh, buddy. This happens like every day. Shouldn't we stop this? We should help, right? Yeah, sure, man. You go stop that maniac. I'm gonna go get lunch or something. Coward! This is what a true Black Knight looks like. I'm Gilgadane. I've set out to prove that I'm worthy of being amongst the top tier of people who play an old medieval point and click game. I have a grind ahead of me, and right now I need to strike gold. I have one goal. The Max Infernal Cape. This is my infernal dream. Hey! Since last time I've been keeping on the farming grind. It's been great, I love it so much. So what's left to do? Well, I need to grow a magic tree and get 3 roots from it, which I can do at 91 farming. I think I said 92 last time. All of that for nothing. This is a maxing series though, so I'm not free from the shackles of farming until I hit 99, or I decide to plant myself to see if someone good at the game grows. Anyway, here's me getting 91 farming. Now that we've completed this goal, we have everything we need for Falador Elite Diaries, and a major piece of our Inferno checklist. We'll be checking in with the Falador Elites later in the episode, but for now, it's that time in the episode where we check in on our Slayer progress. If you feel like a Slayer today, go slay that f***ing like and sub and bell and We go now to Slayer correspondent Gilgadane, who's on the field. Thanks Gilgadane, I'm here at the Abyss, and as you can see, Gilgadane has an Abyssal Demons task and has chosen to do it at the Abyssal Sire. This boss is pretty simple. Gilgadane masterfully opens up with a salvo of blowpipe rounds on the Sire's vents, using Shadow Burst to stun the Sire and its tentacles. The Sire, taking exception to this, crawls out of its hole like an ugly mole to deal with Gilgadane itself. The two trade blows, but it's looking like Gilgadane is going to come out on top. And what's happening now, Gilgadane? Well, it seems Gilgadane has died, and has decided that she's too tired to bother with Sire right now. What a coward. I'm here with Gilgadane in the Abyss. Gilgadane, that was a rough fight. What do you think went wrong? This shit sucks. Scam game. Well, there you have it, Gilgadane. Back to you in the studio. Enlightening. Don't change channel. Up next is Filament Tarlock with a central guide to caring for your fungus. My next task was Hellhounds. Oh my god, finally, some Hellhounds. I've been waiting to get a Hellhound task since I hit 91, and for good reason. I'm doing this task at Cerberus. Aside from the high level Slayer requirement, Cerberus is a relatively easy boss and has some insane drops if I get lucky. The XP from each kill is pretty good, but it's not the fastest of tasks. The point here is to pull that slot machine and try and get one of the crystals. If we're really lucky, we can hit the jackpot and get a primordial crystal. I already have primordial boots, so it's a free 24mil GP profit. And since I have infinity boots, an eternal crystal would also be a great drop, as it'd save me 2 mil, and it'd be a nice upgrade for my mage setup. As far as solo bosses go, Cerberus has very low defense, which is even lower after BGS spec. Most of the fight is just a DPS race to try and kill her before she throws out any of her special attacks. Since Cerberus counts as a demon too, we can benefit from the damage bonus on Arclight as well as our Slayer Helm. Cerberus has 3 heads and 3 attacks to look out for. The first attack, which she always opens the fight with, is a combo attack, attacking with mage, ranged, and melee in that order. Pretty easy, you just switch praise at the right time. Before the second special, Cerberus will growl and spits out pools of lava. Standing on them or within a space of them deals damage every tick, so basically don't stand in the fire. And finally, Cerberus will howl and call 3 spirits from the river she guards. The spirits will be coloured to represent a slice of the combat triangle, blue being mage, green being ranged, and red being melee. They'll always attack left to right, so you just pray against them in the order they attack. Unfortunately, it's not completely free. Without a spectral spirit shield, even praying correctly against a spirit drains 30 prayer points. So between their attacks, I try to desperately chug a dose of prayer potion and make sure I don't get hit. Overall, a pretty chill task even if it does slow my already glacial crawl to 93. Now I know that I've been focused on the Inferno, but I should probably remind you that this is a series going up to the max Inferno cape. The max part is just as important as the Inferno bit. At the start of this series, I just hit base 80s, and 80 is a long way from 99. Believe it or not, it's not even halfway there. To remedy this and make sure I'm not falling behind on my XP gains, come up with an idea. Welcome to Who Wants to Be a Skillionaire. Each episode I'll spin a wheel. Whatever skill the wheel lands on, I have to gain 1 million XP in it before the end of the episode. If I get Slayer, you'll know, because it will take me like 3 months to upload. Okay, let's see what we get. Come on, be something good. Cooking! Looks like it's cooking! This should be really quick and painless. I'm just going to set a marker for 1 million XP, and if my calculations are correct, I just need to make 5,000 wines and we should be good. Luckily for me, I have 13k worth of wines banked just for this occasion. And there we have it, 84 cooking and an extra million XP gained. Let's hope for fletching next time. RuneScape has just received an update in the form of a new master tier quest and a new solo boss. Secrets of the North follows the Majorat quest chain, which probably means something to people that didn't just hold spacebar through their quest cape, and culminates in an encounter against the Phantom Muspar. This wormdog is the Phantom Muspar. It can only be fought after completing the Secrets of the North quest, which requires quite a lot of other quests including making friends with my arm, Swan Song and Devious Minds. It also requires 69 agility, so you best get on those rooftops. The Phantom has 2 distinct forms that it alternates between every 100 damage dealt. First is a melee phase where it will chase you around and can hit accurately through prayer. In this phase it has a high defense to ranged, but takes consistent damage from mage and can be frozen pretty easily. The second phase is a ranged phase. Here it's best to fight with ranged using enchanted ruby bolts above half health and enchanted diamond bolts below. During this phase, the Muspar will occasionally scream and fire a mage attack at you. If the attack hits, not only can it deal huge damage, but it starts draining your prayer, so it's important to keep an eye out for the Q and switch prayers. There are also 3 special attacks that the Muspar lets out at various points in the fight. The first 2 can come in either order. In one, the Muspar stops still and summons spikes to chase you around the arena, and in the other, the Muspar starts teleporting around and summons clouds of smoke that deal around 15 damage if you get hit. The boss still takes damage in this phase, so if you have a long range weapon, you can get some hits in for basically free as long as you can dodge the smoke. The third special always comes once the boss drops below 150 hit points. Here it teleports to the center of the arena and lets out a wave of death. This is where those spikes that have been popping up come in handy. Stand behind one and you're completely safe from the damage and ready to go to the prayer shield phase. At this point, the Muspar gains a 75 hit point shield that can only be drained by attacking with Smite, the Ancient Mace, or by using enchanted Sapphire bolts. I've been trying Greater Corruption from the Arceus spellbook too, but I can't really tell if it actually has an effect. It seems to be working though. The shield drains slowly, naturally, but that also heals the boss, so you want to drain it ASAP. After the shield is gone, the Muspar will sit in the middle in its ranged form, and every 4 attacks more spikes will appear, giving you less and less space to work with. Luckily though, the enrage phase is pretty quick, and then that's the end of the fight. Now, the release of this boss changes everything. Not only is it a solid moneymaker right now since it's new, but it has new uniques that completely shift my game plan going into Inferno practice. The Ancient Icon that drops can be combined with the Ancient Staff to create the Ancient Scepter. This is an upgraded version of the staff, so it can auto-cast ancient magics, and it also boosts the effectiveness of the magic in the Ancient Spellbook. Since the Kodai wand is way too pricey and I don't have the funds to get a base Nightmare staff if it doesn't naturally drop, this might be a viable option in the Inferno. It's not tradable so I can't buy it, but I did get 2, so we're good. The boss also drops Venator shards. Gathering 5 of these shards creates the Venator bow. Each shard is a 1 in 100 drop rate, and right now they're selling for quite a lot, so if I can get my hands on some naturally, I might just keep them to make the bow. What makes the bow so alluring for me is the passive effect. If you're in multi-combat, your attacks will bounce to other enemies in the area, dealing slightly less than the original damage. The jury's still out on how useful it really is in the Inferno, but it could be pretty handy for the nibblers, especially in practice. I'm keeping my eye on this item for now, but I won't be targeting it specifically. Like I said, being new, this boss is a great moneymaker. Here's my loot tracker after 50k C. It says 10 mil, but all of the ancient essence I sold on day 1 was going for about 170 GP, while it's going for about 100 now. I didn't get any uniques other than the ancient icon just yet, but I'll definitely be hitting this boss up every now and then, especially if I get a Slayer task for it. Okay, so last time we touched the Fally Diaries, I sped around I made a critical fumble and had to make several trips to the Mind Altar before I had the right stuff with me, costing me crucial time. This time though, for the elites, it's going to be different. I'm taking this seriously. I refused to let one little error mark my career, so we're timing this. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So first of all, we're going to drink a pot of stamina, get my pure essence, and I've got my robe of the eye on. I'm going to the air altar first thing. You know what, I've already forgotten. I've already made a mistake. I'm so sorry. I've already made a mistake, man. I've already fucked it. Alright, hold on. We might be okay. Why did I start the timer, man? We need an air tiara. Fuck, dude. I think I can attune it to the hat. Air tiara. Okay, thank fuck. Ooh. Get my pure essence. Teleport. And we want the air altar somewhere over here. Okay, here we go, air altar. And let's craft. And we've got an elite task done. Right, I don't have space in my inventory for a teleport up to Fally, but as you can see on the timer, we're a little bit through this grind right now. The last you would have seen would have been me doing the air runes. The rest of it I forgot to hit record for. I promise you I've done it. I promise you I've done it. Like, it's all done. I forgot to hit record. No, man. And there you have it. White Knight Master, 1,200 Black Knights slain, plus the 100 from the Wanted quest. Right, let's go pick up our shield. Alright, we've got to find Surviving. He should be on the second floor. White Knight, Serenity. White Knight, Surviving. Hey, here we go. And there's the final elite task done. Hey buddy, I've completed all of the elite tasks. My first elite diary completely done. And there's my shield and a 50k antique lamp. The tree patch in Falador Park will never become diseased. The shield will restore all prayer points twice per day. And an increased chance at high level ores from pay dirt. Very, very worth it. I think we're going to put this on 50k. Let's throw it on Slayer. That's going slow at the moment. And we are done. Our first major goal of the series over. We're well on our way to being able to start Inferno practice. Next episode, it's high time we chase some drops. And of course, I can't forget 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 26 seconds. That's the time to beat if you want to speedrun your Falador Elite Diaries. I'm sure you can do it way faster. Just don't forget to record like I did. As always, thanks for watching. This episode was a lot of fun to make, and there's stuff I'm doing that I'm not even able to show with the level of care and attention I like to give most of my segments. Some of those will be making an appearance next time, so make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Thanks for staying to the end. Make sure to like and subscribe, as it really does mean the world to me. We live in a world where your success is only seen in how much wealth you can draw in or what accolades you have, but at the end of it all, we're just human. At least in my books, being alive is successful enough. Everyone has value. Be easy on yourself. You owe it to yourself.